Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Chinwe Talks Projects, where I share with you useful tips, tricks, and hacks to help you become a successful project manager or to just generally thrive in the workplace. In my previous video, where I introduced you to a project software called Microsoft Project, I showed you how to auto schedule tasks on Microsoft Project. In today's video, we're going to backtrack a little bit, go back to the basics. So stay tuned. Back to my YouTube channel. So like I said before, I previously introduced you to Microsoft Project as a great planning tool in my previous video. I showed you how to create tasks in the task column. I showed you how to set durations, and I showed you how to link those tasks so you can create an automated schedule in Microsoft Project. And it was very deliberate showing you that because I wanted to get you excited about the software. I wanted you to get your hands dirty as soon as possible and to sort of familiarize you with the interface so you could go, play around with it and, intimate yourself with the software. So in today's video, we're going to backtrack. We're going to go back to the basics, and that includes creating a new project, saving the project, and most importantly, customizing the calendar view Microsoft projects. Okay. So this, if you're looking at this screen, this was the very first project that we created in the last video tutorial that I put up. I'm going to show you how to save this on your desktop, on your device. If you're familiar with Microsoft products, it's the same thing. Okay, it's the same process. You go to File, click on Save As. You choose a location where you want to save it. For me, I want to save it on my desktop. I can save it as test projects, or let's say test project one, whatever name I want to call it, or the name of the project. In some organizations, there's a naming convention that you follow for how you save files. So find out what the naming convention in your organization is and go with that naming convention to save your documents, okay? And then you hit save. So this project is saved, so I can close this. Now, let's assume we're new to projects. We want to create a new project. We already have the software installed and we're starting from the very beginning. So I go to my start menu, click on projects, and it's going to open up this backstage. This is called the backstage. And then what I want to do is I want to click on blank project, and it has created a new project for me. Another way I can do this if I'm already on an existing project. So let's close this for a minute. Let's open the old one we had. I'm here and I just want to quickly create something new. I don't need to close it to create another project. I can simply go here, File, New, Create Blank Project, or Create from Template. Remember? So create blank project. If I click that, it's going to give me a new template that I can work with. So let's close this. So we're back to the old projects. Another way I can create a new project is by doing Control N. So once I click Control N, as you can see, that was really quick. It opened a new project for me to work with. Okay. So on today's video, I'm going to take it a little bit further. There are certain actions that we need to complete before we even go to transferring tasks to the task column on Microsoft Project. There are certain things, baselines sort of, that we need to set. The first thing we want to do is we want to change, remember on the status bar, we want to change the new tasks manually scheduled, and we want to change that to auto scheduled so that anytime we put a task under the task column, the task name column, and then we set the duration or we set the start date, whatever, Microsoft Project automatically calculates that for us. But another thing we want to do is we want to customize the set a project start date for this project. You always want to set a project start date. And that's because you want to tell Microsoft Microsoft Project, what day it should start calculating from to be able to get the right end date for your project. So we're on the task view, skip the resource, this at the top of the ribbon. So skip task, skip resource, skip reports, and go straight to project. Go to navigate to project information. What you're seeing here is the project start date, which is today's date, the 4th of January 25, which is the date I'm recording this video. You want to change that to the date you want the project to actually start. If it's today, fine, you can use today's date. But if you want to create a plan and then have the plan signed off, well in advance before the actual start of the project, you can also do that. So for me, I want to start this project on the 6th of January, which is the next working day, Monday. So once I click on the arrow drop down, it will bring up this calendar view. I click on the 6th and I click on OK. It's already set it. So if I go to, again, project information, you can see that the start date for this project has been created. Okay. What it's also going to show me is the current date, which is today's date. It's also going to show me that the calendar has been set to standard, but we can customize this calendar. By calendar, it simply means the working hours or the working days, okay, for the project team. You can also schedule this from the project start date or from the project finish date. So what we did is we scheduled this from the project start date because that's just default, approach for most project teams. So once you've done that, I'll show you how to customize the calendar in a bit. Just click on OK. So let's see how this works. First task, let's say create project plan. Duration one automatic, because remember it was auto scheduled. So automatically it has picked the 6th of January, which was the date we set as our start date on this, for this template, for this document that we're working on. Okay. Another thing we want to do is, like I said, we want to customize the calendar. So we're still on the project view. We go to change working time. Right now, we're on the standard project calendar. Microsoft standard project calendar is 5 working days and it's Monday till Friday. We can change this if we wanted. The areas that are highlighted in white are the working days. The areas that are grayed out are the non-working days. If we wanted to assign a public holiday to this, we can do that and it will be shown in this teal color that we see here. All right, so let's see what the details of this work week are. And by details, I mean how many hours do we get to work. So what we do is we scroll down to the middle part of this interface, click on work weeks. And like I said, because it's set to default, so this is a standard 5-week work day. So click on default, go to details, and it will show you what that means. So for Monday, that means we're working 8 to 12. There's a 1-hour lunch break, and then you're working 1 to 5. If you calculate that, if you sum that up, that's a total of 8 hours work day. So Tuesday, same thing. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, same thing. So that means according to Microsoft's standard calendar, you're working 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. Okay. If we wanted to change Friday, wanted to change this, we don't want 5 working days, we want just 4 working days, we can do that. And let's go with Friday because thank God it's Friday. So make sure your cursor is on Friday. Come to the second option, click set days to non-working time, and then click OK. What you'll see is that Friday has been grayed out. If you come here, navigate to the arrow, and we're now in February, you'll see that all the Fridays in February as well has also been grayed out. All right. So if we wanted to set that back to a 5-day work week, we can also do that. Again, we go back to details, go to Friday, and then we use project default times for these dates. So select that. See, it automatically populates the hours and you click on OK. All right. So another thing we want to do or we can do is we can adjust the number of working hours per day. Maybe we don't want 8 working hours per day. We want 7 working hours per day. That's what we can afford. After all these business analysis and analysts and developers are very expensive. We can't afford them for 8 hours a day. We want to do 7 hours a day. Yes, we can also do that. So go to default, click on details. Let's say on Monday we want them to work 7 hours. So we click on 7 hours and then, okay, set days to these specific working times. Click on the day and then come to the third option, set days to the specific working times. And then let's reduce this to 4 o'clock. That's 1600 hours. And we click on OK. So it's very simple. You can view, if you want to view if that was effective, and then don't forget to save this as well. Click OK so that it saves it. So let's check to see if the changes we made worked. So we go to work weeks, click details, check Monday. So yeah, on Mondays we only get to work 7 hours as opposed to 8 hours. Another thing we can do is we can assign a specific day as a public holiday. Well, let's say there's a public holiday or a bank holiday, whatever you call it in your part of the world, or um, a non-work day. Maybe there's some sort of a hurricane or some, I don't know. No, let's not use hurricane. Let's use something else because that's something that's not anticipated and it's not really captured in the work plan. But let's say there's an election. Yeah, that's it could be anything. So we want to factor that into our calendar so that Microsoft Project doesn't pick that up when it's calculating the project's complete date. Because whatever you factor in, remember, Microsoft is project is calculating it to determine what the final finish date for the project is. So what you want to do is you want to go to see where you've got work weeks. The tab before that is exceptions. So click on exceptions and then state what dates you want to. So let's say it's the national elections. And then once you do that and you click on start, you will see that Microsoft Project automatically picks a date and a start date and a finish date. Adjust that to the date you want. So it's the 20th. No, elections take place on the 20th of January. It's for one day. So the finish date will also be the 20th. All right. And then you click on OK. If we go back, you can see that that date has been grayed out. It has been grayed out and it comes under exceptions. If I wanted to adjust this to, let's say the elections will last for 3 days instead of one day, we can also do that. All I have to do is click on, make sure my cursor is on national elections. That's the date. Click on details. There are two ways to do this. You can either click on the finish date here. So it's on the 20th. I want this to finish on the 22nd and click OK. If we go back there, you can see that 3 days have been grayed out. Now, there's also another way to do this. If your cursor is on national elections and you click on details, it will bring this order view, right? And you can come to this. You see, it shows you the start date of the event, shows you it ends after 3 days. You can also do this by saying end by, let's choose Friday, the 24th of January, and we click OK. As you can see, that has also reflected here on the standard project calendar. So this is how you set your project start date. You customize your project work week and working times on Microsoft Project. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. Also comment in the comment section. Tell me if you loved it, what you loved about it. And to encourage me to make more videos, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.